everybody, this is Lorii Abela, your Asian matchmaker and soulmate expert. Welcome to tonight's episode of Matchmaker Secrets, where we talk about love, dating, and relationships. And we all know that sometimes there are unforeseen instances in any relationship, and we want to be probably needing legal advice as far as that is concerned. So tonight we have my business consultant. So Attorney Janice Dantes is a family law attorney in Chicago focused on the legal needs of Filipinos. So she is also a wife and a mother of 3 children and understands firsthand the challenges of marriage, family, and finances. So welcome, Janice.
Oh, well, thank you, Lorii. I'm happy to be here, excited to be here.
Awesome. What are the common problems you have seen that causes couples to divorce?
You know, people will probably assume that it's going to be infidelity and that it's cheating. They're seeing somebody else. I find that it's more couples fight about money. And it's more, there's financial infidelity too. People secretly having maybe a problem, an addiction, or just people not being on the same page about how to use, spend, or save their money. And that causes tremendous stress and can lead to a lot of conflict. So I find that the issues there are still issues with infidelity, but it's more related to the finances.
I think beforehand you have to ask, like, how much do you earn and how much do you spend? Is that the way it is?
It's surprising. I do a lot of prenups too.
Okay.
And I will meet couples, interested in doing a prenup, and I have a questionnaire and I have questions that I ask them and that they have a chance to discuss with each other. And many times they don't talk about that before they get divorced. I'll have couples that said, I didn't know my fiance had $15,000 in credit card debt. It never comes up. So it may seem uncomfortable, but I do recommend people actually having those conversations, sitting down and learning about each other's finances and their financial habits so that you're on the same page, and because it's a life partnership and you want to have the same goals, same values. And if someone is not on the same page with you, maybe in the beginning, because you're enjoying each other's company, it's new, you like all these other aspects, it can develop over time as something that can create long-term issues.
Yeah, that's very interesting because when you think about money, sometimes it's taboo to talk about it, especially if it has been taboo in their family when they were young. So nobody really talks about right away, and nobody even knows when do you start asking how much do you earn, are you really a spender, how much do you owe as far as debt is concerned. Wow.
Yeah, when I was in college, I used to work on a national survey on sex, and they said the question that was most offensive, they asked questions about what positions do you like most, all of these, your sexual health. They asked very, very questions that were very private, but the question that most people were very uncomfortable answering was, how much do you earn?
Uh-oh.
That was one of the most controversial questions. Out of all of those sex questions, it was, how much do you make?
Oh my God, oh my God. Do couples actually bother to consult marriage counselors before they approach you? Because probably people would like to patch up first, or do they just go directly to you? How was your experience? And then if yes, would you say counseling didn't work for them? That's the reason why, they come to you?
It's a mixed bag. I've had people come in, they burst in and they say, I just caught my husband cheating, it's over. So I get couples like that, where there's a non-negotiable event that happened and they want to move forward. And I have had couples who did the marriage counseling, and I think at that point, when many of these couples are going to marriage counseling, it's a little too late. These problems have been brewing for years and sometimes decades, and they haven't talked about them. And now it's all coming to the surface. And what's happening is that the other person may not be aware that these issues that bothered them were really traumatic or really affecting them and affecting the relationship. So I find that most couples, they're going to marriage counseling when the marriage is really on the brink of failure, rather than I've seen other couples who are still together where they're going to therapy or counseling to improve how they communicate and build a stronger relationship, not necessarily because they're having problems.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Like, they start with the communication, because everything starts with the communication, because you were saying a while ago that, they have a problem with money, and then, they never talk about it. So, that's the problem. It starts with the communication, I would imagine.
I always find it interesting when I meet couples and they hate each other, or they're on this trajectory of a really nasty divorce. And I'm like, how did you sleep with this person? You let this person into the most intimate parts of your body. And you don't know where he works. It's amazing to me sometimes.
What do you mean, work? They don't even know where they work? Maybe
There
James Bond or something.
No, I have couples, they're like, oh, he's in business. And I'll say, oh, what kind of business? Oh, I don't know. I just swipe. And they find out that their husband is in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, that everything is a show, that their car is getting repossessed. So it's just a conversation that I think is very uncomfortable, but many people don't have.
Wow. Well, I think that is much more probably understandable, rather than saying oh, he's a money launderer. Oh my God, or like a bad person, really.
Right.
Oh my God, who needs to be, in jail? Oh my gosh. Okay. So if you can give a personal advice to people who are in the brink of divorce, what would you tell them? Because you probably have seen a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, I tell people, especially when they consult with me and they're still thinking about it, the most important thing is to prepare. The person that I think did things well when she was getting divorced was Katie Holmes. And she prepared. And when I say prepare, is start getting your finances in order. Finding out, where are you going to live? How are you going to support yourself if he is not going to support you anymore? How are you going to take care of your children? Who's going to be there to help you, because you will now be a single parent? And this goes for men and women. So I think the most important thing is to prepare. I have many people who will just, out of anger or just something happen where they're like, I have to get divorced tomorrow. There's no rush. I think it's very important to just take your time to plan, prepare, make sure you know where all the assets are, where the finances are, what money you have coming in, what money you have going out, so that you know you'll be okay without this other person.
You said Katie Holmes was prepared, so I don't even know how much she gotten, but anyway, what kind of steps do you think did she do, to make it?
Well, I don't know
more
specifically what she did, but what I tell my clients whenever we're preparing, they're consulting me with divorce, and they said, whether you go with me or not, I said, the first thing you need to do, make sure you get all the tax returns. You'd be surprised how many people I'll ask, very simple, can you give me the last 3 years of tax returns? Oh, I don't know, because my husband does them, or my wife does them, and I don't know who our accountant is. Make sure you get those, just even the last 3 years. Download every bank statement and every credit card statement. See where the money is going. See what you had before, because sometimes the finances will tell you something's amiss. I've looked through hundreds of bank records, and you could tell if someone's cheating. You start seeing certain trends. So I tell them, make sure you get all these bank statements. And they're like, oh, but I don't know where he banks. I'm like, you're the spouse. You have his social security number. You guys file taxes together. Go and ask the bank. Oh, I'm just getting these records. We just need it for, and come up with a reason. But you as a spouse, that's when you have the most power to try to get this information. And a lot of times people are under the impression that our financial situation is different from the reality. I've had many couples say, oh, no, he has so much more money than that. And then we subpoena all the banks and all the records, and I'll tell them, you did have money 10 years ago, but then you bought the jet ski, you bought the boat, then you paid for college, it's gone. And they're like, no, he's hiding it. And a lot of times it's that they're just not aware of where the money is going, or they're not watching it closely, and then they can't prove that things are being misused. So it's most important to start gathering all those financial records, knowing where you stand financially, and seeing to make sure you can prepare how much you'll need, because you're going to be on your own.
Yeah. So what I'm getting is that you have to be able to find out and actually participate in what's going on actively in your account. Talk about everything all the time, like, monthly, probably regular meeting, just finances, if that's very important, because like, I know that you're talking about, like, usually it's the man who has a lot of income over there, from what I'm hearing from you. But I'm sure there are also some instances it's the woman who has a lot more money, right?
Exactly. I represent many, many women, especially in our community as Filipinos. We have a lot of women who are nurses making six-figure salaries, and sometimes their husbands are stay-at-home dads. And I think the most irritating thing for women that in that situation is that many times they're surprised that they might have to pay alimony to their spouse.
Oh, wow.
Or they might have to pay or give them half of their retirement. Those are things that we find synonymous with a man having a stay-at-home wife. And it goes two ways. We don't recognize one gender as having different set of rules than the other. So that's something that has bothered many women clients. Like, why do I have to support him? He hasn't worked, he hasn't done anything. And I have to tell them, well, that's how the law is. We can't pick and choose and say that because he stayed home that you're going to call him a deadbeat when a woman who stayed home is considered a homemaker and taking care of the kids. They're treated the same way.
Yeah. I have met somebody like that, and she just recently divorced as well, and it's the same thing. Like, she has a business, so what she said, like, he's not really participating, so like, I have to make every effort to protect my business because I'm the only one doing something about the business. And so, like, I think that was the same thing. Like, the guy wanna have some share of her income because, like, that's what he was saying, like he's taking care of the children. So yeah, well, I think like in modern times it's the same, this kind of the situation right now. Before, like, when we were, or our grandmothers were still alive, like, most of the time it's the man who is, taking care of the wife. Now it's, it can be reverse order because the gender roles has changed.
Right. There are many progressive couples where it's not necessarily the man is the breadwinner and the woman stays at home. Sometimes we have two power couples where both people are contributing much to the relationship financially.
Yeah. So, a lot of our audience are single. So what kind of advice would you be giving to singles who are looking to get married? And so, like, how can they avoid such thing as divorce?
The one thing that everybody tells you is, follow your heart. And that's good to a certain extent, but also you have to use your head. I tell people a lot that you can't always choose who you fall in love with, but you can always choose who you marry. Marriage is a choice. You don't have to marry somebody just because you like them. You could be boyfriend, girlfriend. I've had many happy couples who never got married. They're just together, or they don't have kids. But I think most important is to use your head. This is almost the equivalent. I know, Lorii, you're business-minded. It is like a business arrangement. It is a life partnership. Divorce is a contract. And so you're contracting with this other person that you're going to build this life together. And how could you not use your head about that? How could you not think about what you're getting yourself into and for a long time? This is not a 3-year contract. This is a lifetime contract. So sometimes I find how, some people, they're going to read over a lease, a 1-year lease, make sure a lawyer looks over it. But a lifetime partnership, you're not going to ask them, so do you have any credit card debt? It's amazing to me. Okay. So I would just say to single people, take your time, make sure you get along, and that you have similar values about how you want to spend your life together, how you manage your finances together, and some of your goals are aligned. People, the most common things that we might hear are things like kids. Do you want kids? Do you have kids already? How many kids do you want? Because that is a lifetime commitment. So just having those conversations will help tremendously, and not getting distracted by the fact that, oh, this person's so beautiful, or his job is so great, or he swept me off my feet. Those are all great things. They treat you well. That's important, but you have to use your head, not always your heart.
Yeah, yeah. A while ago, you said that there are also people who doesn't want to get married, but they're together. So, do you have any cushion for them so that they can be protected?
I mean, it's a two-way street. So, you know, there are protections with marriage. You know, obviously there's certain tax benefits, and now you can protect retirement assets by naming a spouse as a beneficiary. There's a lot of benefits to being married. But there's also, it comes with a lot of responsibility. Once you're married to somebody, if it ends, it's really a breach of contract. That's how the court views it. And when you breach a contract, or you want to get out of a contract, you got to pay your way out. If you aren't married, there is none. You could just give their box of stuff back and you go. So there's less entanglements in terms of that, but then it also can mean a lack of commitment. So I've had many, you know, people don't know this, but I do divorce, but I also do a lot of parentage cases. So child support, child custody issues between couples who were never married. And the obligations are different. So because all you can talk about is support. So if you have a child together with someone who you weren't married to, the only person they have to support legally is the child. But you can't ask for alimony. Oh. You know, you can't ask for that person to pay for your child's college. Those are things that are reserved for people who are married. So, so I see it as there are a lot of benefits with marriage, but there's also a lot of responsibilities. And when you don't get married, you'll have less of the benefits, but you also have less responsibilities to the other person.
Okay. Yeah, because like, you know, I would imagine some people who are a couple, but they're not married, probably they're thinking like, okay, we buy a house together. So what happens to that? Like, you know, they have to just divide that. Or do they still ask for legal advice for that?
Yeah, that's a very tricky one. So when you buy a house with a boyfriend or girlfriend or a friend, and you don't get along, and now you want to divide that house. A house, you can't just cut it in half, right? And say, you take this part, I take this part. What happens is it's a different kind of lawsuit. It's called a partition action. So now you have to figure out how to divide this house, who gets what share, and how much is that going to cost. It's a messy situation, and so I do advise people, you know, before they make large purchases, that they really know what they're getting themselves into.
This is a funny question, but how about the pets? Like, you know, are there also like you take care of the pet this week or something?
You know, it is coming up a lot more now. There are some instances where there's visitation for your dog, where they will trade off. In terms of how pets are looked at in the eyes of the law, pets are considered property. Even though for many people with dogs and cats that they're really a part of the family, almost like children, but in the eyes of the law, they're property. Property is divisible, but there are more instances of pet visitation, but there is no responsibility in terms of pet support. So it's an interesting issue that's coming up, and now with, you know, support animals and emotional support animals, you get into a different arena of how those situations are dealt with. But yeah. I have one case now where the other side is asking for support for, they called them exotic animals, but they're fish and guinea pigs.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, interesting. But yeah, I mean, I don't own pets, but sometimes I'm like, you know, do you want to send me to court to fight for this pet, or you want to just buy a new dog?
Okay, I have a couple of fish.
Right.
So anyway, another follow-up question, because you talk about, like, you know, pets. But how about foster children? Like, you know, those who were adopted, maybe by just one person, and they fell in love with that, you know, child already. Is there something like can you still fight for that or no?
You know, generally when if you don't have a legal obligation to the child, that also means you don't get any like legal benefits. So that happens. Step parents, maybe you become very close to a child, and then the marriage ends. You don't have an obligation for support, and that also means that if mom or the parent, dad, whoever the parent is of that child, can choose to deny you rights to them. So, and it's a pretty strong law, even with grandparents. Sometimes a grandparent will grow very close to a child and then the marriage ends, and sometimes they want to have rights to visit. In Illinois, compared to some other states, in Illinois, the assumption is that the parents know what's best for their children. And so if they want to deny another person the rights to see them, they do have that right. And you would have to make a case in court that's not a proper, they're not a fit or proper parent.
Okay, so do you have any considerations that one needs to think about and to prepare when filing for a divorce? So I think like you have covered a lot of it. So anything which is like, missing about those things that you have talked about?
Yeah. I think one of the things that people have to realize is that when you're filing for divorce and you're seeking an attorney, you have to pay that attorney.
Okay.
I get it all the time. Oh, but can you take this case pro bono? And we do take some cases on a pro bono basis that are very limited in scope. The most common pro bono case we will take is people who've been married, 20, 30 years. They don't know where their spouse is. They hadn't seen them in 20, 30 years, have no idea. They've gone on with their life. That person, they assume, has gone on with their life, and now they just want to marry somebody else. And you can't do that if you're still married to someone else. So those are cases that are worth us doing on a pro bono basis if the person does not have the means to retain counsel. But in many, many other cases, people just have to be prepared to pay the retainer fee to get them through this. And a lot of times when I say prepare, people, they're living paycheck to paycheck and they don't have those funds. So my recommendation is if you're preparing for divorce, make sure you're putting money away so that you can retain counsel to assist you. Like,
we're really learning a lot of things with attorney over here, but it's so sad that we don't have so much time. But anyway, like if you are single and wondering how to navigate love, we would like to have you over here on stage because we would like to also learn from you. And if you are an expert on love, dating, and relationships, or anybody who has been successful in love, dating, and relationship that they might have been married for a long, long time, we would like to have you here as well. So you can reach us at our phone. We will be happy to have you. And I think that's about it. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Lorii.
Yeah, we'll see you again. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.